Out in the American West, there's a story that's basically woven right into the mountains themselves. It's a tale of myth, a little bit of mischief, and a creature that's, well, pretty hard to find. This is the story of the guardians of a mythical hunt.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever been sitting around a campfire deep in the Colorado Rockies and someone turns to you, totally serious, and asks if you want to go on a snipe hunt? If that's happened to you, you should know that wasn't just some random question. The snipe hunt is a full-blown Rocky Mountain legend. It's often set up as this rite of passage for anybody who's new to the wilderness.
Okay, so picture the scene. The setup is always really simple and honestly, kind of strange. They hand you a burlap sack, give you these super vague and mysterious instructions, and your whole mission is to head out into the dark woods to catch something called a snipe. But if you're nodding along right now, maybe feeling a little silly, remembering a past experience, you already know there's more to this story. So let's start peeling back the layers of this myth.
The truth is, yeah, it's a practical joke. It's a prank. Basically, a wild goose chase.
Officially, a snipe hunt is this classic prank where some poor, unsuspecting newcomer gets sent on a completely hopeless mission to catch a creature that, at least in the world of the hunt, doesn't really exist.
And that brings up a way more interesting question, right? If it's just a simple joke, how in the world has it managed to stick around for more than 100 years, passed down from one generation to the next?
Well, it's because the snipe hunt is so much more than just a prank. It actually serves this really deep cultural purpose, all built around the power of a good shared story. The tradition goes way, way back to the late 1800s. It seems to have started with miners and loggers, as a way to pass the long nights and kind of test the new guys. Over the years, it just evolved from a simple test into this beloved rite of passage that it is today. The real reason the joke survived is because it does all this cool stuff. First, it's an amazing icebreaker. It's also a pretty lighthearted way to test a newcomer's sense of humor and, their patience. But maybe most importantly, it keeps the unique folklore of the Rockies alive and actually encourages people to get creative and add their own little details to the story. And speaking of creativity, this is where the story gets a fantastic little twist. Because in Colorado, the snipe isn't out there in the woods all by itself. Oh no, it has a guardian. I want you to meet the jackalope. This legendary creature, part jackrabbit, part antelope, is just the perfect symbol of that playful, tall-tale-loving spirit you find all over the Rocky Mountains. And deep in the web of Colorado folklore, the jackalope has a very specific job description. It's the snipe's best friend, and its fierce but very tricky protector. So how does it protect the snipe? Well, according to the legend, the jackalope is a total master of tricks. It'll deliberately lead hunters off the path. It'll make them chase shadows, and it'll lure them deeper and deeper into the woods, all to make sure the mythical snipe stays safe. It's like the spirit of the hunt itself. So you take all of this, the joke, the history, the jackalope, and it all starts to make sense why this myth is still going strong. It's really about connecting to something bigger than yourself. When it comes right down to it, the snipe hunt isn't really about catching anything at all. It's a cultural touchstone. It connects us to the wild, to each other, and to this long shared history of adventure and storytelling and good-natured fun. There's this one description that just hits the nail on the head. It calls the tradition a chance to connect with Colorado's wild heart and its playful soul. I mean, that really captures the whole spirit of it, doesn't it? And all of this leaves me with one last thought. The snipe hunt is a classic form of this lighthearted initiation, and it makes me wonder, what kind of traditions do we have today in our own friend groups or workplaces that serve that same purpose of testing, welcoming, and bonding us all together?